Hello dear movie fans. There's a great news that we have some new released action thriller movies collection of 2024. FilmHead is suggesting these kind of outstanding film to you. So, let's start. Number 1. The Wages of Fear. The French thriller The Wages of Fear, 2024, is available on Netflix. It is based on a book and a remake of the original 1953 film. In 1977, William Friedkin, the filmmaker of The Exorcist, remade it in English under the title Sorcerer. This remake was hailed by many as the best ever produced. The Wages of Fear delivers an action story best described as fine. Netflix's Wages of Fear remake falls far short of the original, lacking tension and emotion. The main plot of The Wages of Fear takes place on the road and at full speed ahead as our main characters are battling the clock. The story begins when an oil well catches fire in the middle of the desert, near a refugee camp. This fire is directly threatening the lives of the population. It's hard to genuinely believe in the need to help when individuals may be forced to survive without access to decent drinking water or air. Nonetheless, the core of the original tale is relatively similar. Never undervalue the urge to be a hero. 2. The drama portion is a bit high. What is the history of the team? Why are they separated from each other? And when they come again for the mission, whatever twists and turns they have regarding their conflicts will be told to you through the drama, which also gets boring in between. Otherwise, the teamwork is quite good. In any case, a powerhouse team of French experts go 800 kilometers away to transport 200 kilograms of explosives in 2 trucks. Now the team has less than 20 hours to reach the oil well. They'll have to go through zones controlled by armed rebels, cross minefields, and drive the nitroglycerin-filled trucks over rough terrain. As the film careens toward what threatens to be a happy ending, any faith that there might be something to salvage from this mess ebbs away. Even the explosions don't seem to care about looking exciting. Number 2. Cult Killer. The narrative of the new thriller Cult Killer revolves around human trafficking, a serial killer, and a compelling revenge tale. I really enjoyed a lot of the movie, so I'm even more disappointed that it wasn't perfect. A private investigator is forced into a dangerous alliance with a killer in order to uncover a quiet town's grisly criminal underbelly and clear the name of her mentor, who is implicated in the crimes. The real story of Cult Killer begins when they start tracking a serial killer. This killer seems to be targeting a wealthy family. Before long, it becomes obvious that the family has a dark secret and that the serial killer is out for revenge. Alice Eve and Antonio Banderas lead the strong ensemble cast in Cult Killer, yet they don't stand out in their separate parts the most. Their rhythm is ruined by the way their story is conveyed in flashbacks, even if they get along and collaborate great. The relationship between Alice Eve and Shelley Hennig is far more effective. The two play the serial killer's pursuer and the real murderer, respectively. And no, that doesn't really ruin anything because the killer's identity is made clear from the first. However, what also almost saves the film is something entirely unexpected. The ones in charge of this pedophile ring are not only an elderly couple, but the more twisted one is the woman, creepily played by Olwen Fouer. The movie was titled The Last Girl for a long time. When you watch the movie, this original title of The Last Girl makes even more sense than Cult Killer, but I expect the latter got more traction and is easier to hype. Number 3. Air Force One Down. Air Force One Down, 2024, marks an adventurous, albeit turbulent, foray into the action thriller genre. After Miles is assigned to the aircraft carrying President Edwards on his way to Estovia to sign an oil treaty, the story takes shape. There are others who are strongly against the transaction, both in Estovia and here. Specifically, General Rodionov intends to commandeer Air Force One in order to influence the president's decision. He reckons without Miles, and after a spell of die hard on a plane, she and Edwards parachute out. That isn't the end of it. Rodionov capturing them, with the intention of using her as leverage against the president. Things are definitely lifted above the ordinary by the action. Even though the camera work is occasionally a little frantic, the images are surprisingly long and frequently demonstrate how much of McNamara's own work she is doing. The best part is a lengthy, one take, where she escapes imprisonment and navigates the complex, taking down adversaries in a number of creative methods. Though it will be somewhat less memorable than most plot-based hijinks because Miles had to be saved by the president in the end. The problems with Air Force One Down aren't due to an inexperienced director, however. It's a plot that stretches credibility to the breaking point and a budget that can't match the script's ambitions. In addition, Air Force One Down leads us to believe that General Rodionov, who resembles General Orlov from Octopussy from a dollar store, possesses technology capable of taking over the plane's communications and transmitting a fake radar image to conceal what is going on. Air Force One Down could have been an enjoyable, if forgettable, die-hard in the sky outing and a decent way to pass an hour and a half. Instead, apart from a few fight scenes, it's a mess on the level of DC Down rather than comparable to either of the films it wants to cash in on. Number 4. Lights Out. The suspenseful thriller, Lights Out, has plenty of drama and action. With its gripping story, powerful combat sequences, and endearing characters. This film is about a drifting ex-soldier turns underground fighter with the help of a just-released ex-con, pitting them both against a crime boss, corrupt cops, and hired killers. The creators of the Frank Grillo-starring action comedy Lights Out appear to believe that drama will increase as Duffy, who was first trying to make some money as an underground fighter, becomes more involved in a world of drug dealers and dishonest police officers. Actually, with too many people and subplots, it just gets clumsy and slow. As for Sesma's directorial style, the self-taught filmmaker does what he can with the screenplay, but there are moments that simply ring hollow. Some of the characters are completely underused, and the whole thing is shot in a less-than-compelling style. Outside of the main pair, everyone else is mostly left floundering in underwritten roles. Dermot Mulroney probably comes off best as crooked cop Sage Parker, while Jamie King, as previously mentioned, has so little to do that she could have sent her stand-in to perform the role instead. The actors do what they can, but the film offers them little. The further Lights Out strays from all of this, the more it begins to feel like several different subgenres of action movies crammed into one unwieldy experience. By the end of the first act, it's no longer a movie about street fighting, but rather a full-scale crime thriller where everyone becomes more endangered by the minute. Number 5. Red Right Hand. From beginning to end, Red Right Hand is an intense thriller that keeps you on the edge of your seat. John Smith, a well-known director, skillfully blends psychological drama, suspense, and mystery into his film. The plot follows the journey of a troubled detective, played brilliantly by Tom Hanks, as he delves into a series of gruesome murders with eerie connections to his own past. The cinematography is striking, with atmospheric lighting and haunting imagery that adds to the film's overall sense of unease. Mainly, this film is about that Payday is making an effort to lead a modest, moral life in a small Appalachian village. He quickly discovers he can do everything, including kill, to defend his family and his house when a nasty crime leader pushes him back into her services. If you're looking for a blockbuster, then this one is for you to watch. Thus far, for this year, 2024, Red Right Hand is the best action movie for me. Realistic story, something about his brother who made a loan from the wrong people and couldn't pay it back. Then Cash had no choice but to help his brother find a way to pay the money back, but it becomes messy. When Big Cat sets her gang to terrorize his family after Finney fails to pay back $100,000 that he borrowed, Cash finds himself pulled back in. No amount of money can satisfy Big Cat, who is into empire building. Thus, Cash must use his unique skills. He's a people person who can also kill indiscriminately to help Big Cat secure her legacy. Many actors who I had never seen in this kind of role previously performed admirably. This was a good film. If you're looking for special effects, it's not for you. However, if you enjoy strong, unadulterated drama with plenty of live action and a compelling plot, this is the one to see.